Hello and welcome to the channel. My name is Sean Huggins and this is Europe with Hugs. Thank you so much for being here. Today we are checking out, oh boy, let's talk Land of the Free. This is a video from Adam Compton. Link to the original video down in the description as always, but it appears he is an American, probably living in Europe, and has some thoughts on all of that kind of stuff. So we're gonna see what he thinks. Let's waste no more time yapping and hop straight into it. Here we go.
Here's a good example of one of the biggest differences I've noticed from living in Austria and in Germany versus, let's say, in California, in Arizona, and in the States. People don't have any time in a lot of other places. Let's say America, let's say some places in Asia, like I just saw. They don't have the time and the energy to be out and about and enjoying the great outdoors, and the world around them. And I always found it so sad because, for example, in Northern California, the nature's so beautiful. Yeah. It's really stunning.
And Southern California.
I'd say as well in Arizona, but especially Northern Arizona. Super beautiful, super stunning, really epic. And people are so exhausted, dead tired, and just don't have enough time. Because what they say is the 9 to 5 and the 40-hour work week. It's actually like you throw in commute time, you throw in everything else that life involves. You're on the hook for at least 50, 60, 70 hours a week.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if you factor in all the stuff that it takes to maintain your life while working, you know, you have to like prepare your outfits, do your laundry for the week and your work clothes, and you have to make sure your car is all gassed up and ready to go, or however you get to work is ready to go, and however you get home from work is ready to go, and you have to have your food situation sorted out for your entire week or whatever, for lunch and dinner after work and all that kind of stuff. And it all adds up very quickly, that's for sure.
Of work. And so I always just found it so sad. Because people are living so close to some of the most beautiful nature I think I've still ever seen in Northern California. And the beaches nearby, the redwoods, sequoia trees and the redwoods, some of the oldest trees, oldest trees on the planet. And yet people never really have the time to get out to these places. And in some ways, they're also not necessarily super accessible unless you have a car. So again, it's so awesome and so beautiful back there. Don't get me wrong. But one of the things I love about being here in Europe is that people actually have the time, and it's better work-life balance. And people have an understanding for, there's this idea in economics, right? Diminishing returns, diminishing marginal returns. The more you do of the same thing, it has less and less benefits, returns, or profit for you.
Right.
And the more and more time working, it really doesn't necessarily have so much of a big benefit for you.
Yeah, or necessarily that big of a benefit for the company that is employing you, to be honest. I mean, there are a lot of studies now that a 4-day work week or less than a 40-hour work week still can get you all of the same productivity or almost the exact same productivity as a 40-hour plus work week, a 5+ day work week. But if you just make people more happy in their free time, then they are more willing to work harder, or at least be more focused in their work time, and it kind of equals out without much downside.
And that's one of the other reasons why I love living in Europe. So beautiful here.
True.
You can just hang out on the bench.
That's a cool bench. Yeah, I mean, when we were living in Germany, I was still working 40 hours a week, let's say. I think technically like 37 hours a week or something like that. But let's just round it up to 40 hours a week. And there was still a lot of the preparing for the 40-hour work week outside of work, preparing for the commute to and from work, preparing the food and everything. Like, it adds up to being a lot. But the difference is in Germany, for example, you would have like several weeks of paid time off every year, like several weeks. And not to mention bank holidays, like standard holidays that most industries just have off as well. And that's another, I don't know, 15 to 20 days a year randomly spread out throughout the year, something like that. I don't know. Just for example. And in America, you don't have any of that stuff. Like there's maybe like 3 bank holidays. It's like Christmas Day and like Thanksgiving. And other than that, it's like kind of depends on your company, kind of depends on what your industry is and different stuff like that. And when it comes to like paid time off, you might get like 1 to 2 weeks paid time off per year. Again, depending on your company, depending on your industry and what you're doing and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I mean, I found the work-life balance when you're actually working in Germany compared to America, it was pretty similar in terms of the amount that you worked when you were working, roughly 40 hours a week. But in Germany, you had just way more standard time off through these bank holidays. You had way more standard time off through, the minimum amount of paid time off that you get for yourself per year. That is where the huge difference in work-life balance comes into play to me. Also, in Germany, it's a lot more common to have a job that's very close to you with a short commute, whereas in America, it's not so uncommon to have a 1 hour or over 1 hour commute to work every day. That's not everybody. That's not most people, but that's not uncommon. I mean, I did that for several years in America, having a 1 hour commute to work every day, just one way. Drive an hour to work, 8 hours, and then drive 1 hour home. In Germany, from what I found, it's a lot more common to have a lot closer workplaces. That's a lot more common, I think. But yeah, definitely interesting, definitely curious what you guys have to say about it. So let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. And if you haven't already, then please consider subscribing, leaving a like on the video. All this stuff is quick, easy, free, and it really helps the channel a lot. So thank you in advance. But that's all the time that I have for today. So thank you guys so much for being here. And as always, I'll see you guys next time. Peace.